Hey everybody, it's Briggshill here. Hello. Now, you may be wondering, why the hell am I doing a replay of someone else? Well, this person, Nicrodk, he sent me a message on YouTube and asked me to basically review one of his best rounds he's ever played. This is it. I'm going to do a little bit of analysis, see what I can do, offer some tips. I've watched it through twice before doing this, so I may miss something, I may not. It's very difficult to go through someone else's thing when you've not actually participated in it, so you don't really know what's going to happen. You've just got to kind of do it on the fly. So I'll also want to point out as well that this is a European replay. I play on the American. The clients differ somewhat, so it may look a little different in certain areas than it would normally do in a normal European game. But it shouldn't be a problem. I'm going to get rid of some of the, and we'll start. Okay, so Nicrodk is in the 81, probably one of the best early tank destroyers, tier 2 tank destroyer. He has a platooned friend, Marsus, who will help him out in the L tractor. This is a tier 1, tier 2 battle, so it's not exactly going to be top of the range stuff. But I will say this, some of the best rounds you'll ever play are the early rounds when you're getting to know the game, where you actually enjoy the game for the game itself rather than for the grind. So let's start off here. Nicrodk is going to get into a position. The frame rate does differ somewhat. You can see that in the top left hand corner, where sometimes it runs fine, sometimes it doesn't. So Nicro's going to sit into a position where he's going to be able to snipe, basically. He's going to sit and hit these vehicles here. So as you can see, he has the Panzer II there that he can easily take out. It's pointing in that kind of direction. It's half side on. If he shoots at that, it's most likely going to bounce. If he hits it on this side, it probably hit fine, but it'll definitely bounce on this side. The Panzer 38H, which is a gold tank. I don't think you can get it anymore, actually. I think it's quite a rare tank. Over in the US, that is. This should be fairly easy to penetrate on the front side, as is the L tractor here. As you can see, there are two other wrecks behind them. So let's just push this forward. Focus on the Panzer 38H, because that's the one that will deal most damage. Gets a really good hit. Takes out nearly all of its, waiting for the accuracy to go, which is great. Now, what happens there is, where the Panzer 38H is, was a miss. The shot went over here. Now, luckily for Nicrodk, the L tractor had moved behind the Panzer. When it was sitting there, it had gone round behind the Panzer 38 and got shot and killed, luckily. He'll reload and shoot again, this time taking out the Panzer 38 that had stayed in that position. So now you can move focus to the UC2PDW. It's in a really decent position, as you can see. It's currently side on. That is the location where you really want to hit it, especially for these lower tier tanks. Any side or rear hit will pretty much kill straight away. So that's what the focus is going to be here. And there you go. The Panzer II is going to survive to live another day for now. It's probably one of the better tanks in this round. Takes up a position behind this BT2, which is doing its sniper job. It's still going to move out and see if he can take up any more vehicles. So in this position here, the Panzer II is completely behind cover. The M22 light there is going to try and do as much damage to it as possible. I don't know the outcome of that battle, but I am assuming that the M2 light will take the Panzer II out. The L tractor here is in a really good position for getting sideswiped, which is hopefully what Nicrodk does in a second, if memory serves correctly. It disappears on him, and he now has to focus on another tank. He will have a look and see if he can take out this tank. Now this is a decent position for Nicro to be in, because the AT has to kind of cross the path there to get into further cover. The problem is by the time Nicro gets his zoom down to a decent zoom on the accuracy, the tank starts to move across and he doesn't have time to get the shot off. And when he does, he obviously misses, unfortunately. So now the focus is going to move to something that's out in the open. The NC-31 here is in a very horrible position, if I'm honest. It's sitting side on. I think it feels that it can't be seen because it's sitting in the bushes. The bushes that are basically here, which he's sitting behind, would normally work there, but because of the M2 light, which is literally just over here, has scouted him, that means that his side on is going to get taken out pretty much straight away. That's a great shot. Very great shot. There are two tanks that are sitting to the left, but it keeps going in and out of focus. The T-18 has decided to go on a mountaineering trek, and has unfortunately got himself into a really horrible position, which means Nicrodk can literally just one-shot it from there. It'll probably get hit by something else that's over here. The Panzer II is also in a horrible position there. The L tractor is under fire pretty much from this direction and that direction. The Panzer II is in a little trouble here. I mean, if it can still move behind there and maybe flank, but it doesn't really do much, to be honest. In fact, it does completely the wrong thing. It goes towards the M2 light, which is probably its target that it's been trying to hit, and the M2 light goes down. But the Panzer II here has been tracked. You can just about make it out, which means it's pretty much Nicrodk's 6th kill. That gives you the top gun, Nicrodk. Very well done. That leaves 5 tanks left. You can see four of the blops on the map, so you can see roughly what location they're going to be in. Nicrodk is obviously going to move out and see what he can do in terms of killing the others. Now, pretty much every time Nicrodk goes to try and take out a tank, it gets hit just before he shoots, which is all the luck you need. Now this tank is obviously exactly the same one that is being used currently by Nicrodk, so he knows what damage it can do if it spots you and shoots you. So he knows exactly where the front armour is going to be the weakest, and luckily he misses. Luckily he misses. But he misses again, and the L tractor takes it out for him. Now that was unlucky from Nicrodk, because the 2 shots that he took, both of them would have destroyed the AT1, so he could have been out an extra kill than he actually gets, unfortunately. So now it's really kind of the end of the round. There's not much else that can be done here, just mopping up the last 4 tanks. They know now it's a victory, so the people are going to take chances. They're going to see if they can get into the cap zone, and they can see if they can get these extra kills so that they can basically brag to their mates. So he takes a position so he can cover himself from the side, but he does get a hit on him there. Quite a low hit, what shouldn't worry him too much. That probably comes from roughly this direction here. That fire came down onto him there, unless he's sitting over there somewhere, maybe. It's possible. Either way, it doesn't really matter, because they're going to be destroyed in a second. So, let me just push this on a bit. You got the L tractor that is sitting up here. It's basically sitting up with his ass in the air, pointing kind of this direction. This FT-17 is, I think it's behind cover actually, so I'm not too sure if Nicrodk can get a shot off him. And the two L tractors are over in this direction. You can't see them; they're over here somewhere. Exactly where I said that the fire came from before. Let's have a look. Oh, well, he can see them, just the top of him, so any accurate hit here will kill it. And there you go. Now he's going to focus on the L tractor, see what he could do here. Unfortunately, he's behind cover now. He's decided the L tractor to move location. Instead, there's still one L tractor to the left, which is exactly what he's going to look for now. And he will get the kill. So, really, this is a fantastic round by Nicrodk. There's not much that I can teach him in terms of offering tips and such. All I suggest is, if he ever does a battle with artillery in place, you might want to move location a couple of times during the stint where he basically sat and killed 4 or 5 tanks. The later games, there will be a lot more movement, a lot more flanking, a lot more penetrative and explosive games. But for a start, that is fantastic. I enjoyed that a lot. If you liked this video, I'm sure Nicrodk will have some location where he can show you other replays. I think most likely the best place to go for Nicrodk replays is his mwreplays.com user. You might be able to see 2 or 3 on there. Anyway, that's been me doing a little analysis and explanation of Nicrodk's round. Killed 8 tanks, got quite a decent supply of here is the actual, it takes a while to load up because it's quite a slow website. This is the mwreplays.com site. It's where I post a lot of my replays that I don't normally YouTube. Here we go. He got 1,000 times 2, which is pretty decent. I mean, the early stages, tier 1s to tier like 3s, you don't get much XP compared to the later rounds, so that's why the rank is so low. I mean, that rank would be a lot higher if it was a later tier. Like, for instance, if I show you one of mine, it might take a while actually, now that I think about it. That's just confirming there that the top gun was awarded. Like, for instance, I did a Tiger where I got a Top Gun, Tiger 2, and I got 4,000 experience with 4.6. It's because of the more damage you do, the more penetrative hits you do, generally the harder it is as well. As you can see, there's a lot here. My best round that I've uploaded onto my MW is 4.6. It might be a little bit more than that actually. But it'll take about 10 years for me to get to the next page. So anyway, that's it. I hope you've enjoyed it, and thanks very much.